I've been shamed and I've been broken. I played every goddamn game, feeling tired of the same old, same old.
The band is so bomb, y'all. Like, you gotta hear them. They put me in the mind of One Republic, but the difference is these are blue collar workers. So I want you to tell everybody, number one, you're working class. How did you get so talented? Like, how did you get into this field?
Well, I mean, Ryan and we've been playing together for like 15 years now. In all different bands, all different projects and stuff. And we pretty much just spend all of our free time outside of our blue collar jobs doing music stuff. You know, that's pretty much it. Spend all of our free time, all of our money from our jobs, we pour into the music, you know.
Okay, you guys just made the band in 2020. So what was it about 2020 that made you decide, okay, this is it. Let's just take this to the next level. We got the goods. Now we want people to hear our music.
I think it was, we had taken kind of a break from music, both of us, to kind of enhance our careers and try to kind of get ahead in life like most people do. You know, you want that financial security and stuff. And after like that 3-4 year break, we both kind of just came to the place at the same time where we were yearning to play music. We were yearning, like there had to be more than life than just working our jobs. And like, you know, we just felt kind of empty. And I think it was, you know, we've stayed friends this whole time. We didn't stop being friends with just because we stopped the music. And it was just a conversation we had one time. And I was like, dude, I'm feeling inspired. I've written a couple songs recently. I'm really feeling like music is lacking in my life and it's taken away. So, you know, that sense of fulfillment in my life. And I was like, why don't we just jam? Why don't we see if we still got it, see what's going on? And so we did. And then I started to just write songs like every day, and I was like, all right, something's coming out. Something wants to get out into the world. Like, let's do this for real. And we had talked about all the ways we did it wrong before and all the other bands we did. We didn't do any legal stuff. We just kind of just flew by the seat of our pants, and we were like, let's do it right this time. Let's set it up as a business. Let's hit the ground running with it. And so that's what we decided to do. And it's taken a lot of our time to do that. And it's actually put us further into the music, further into our craft. We're playing a lot more. We're hanging out a lot more. And it's added this whole different dynamic into our lives. And so that's kind of what it came down to. It was like empty before and now full.
Fulfilling.
Yeah.
I love it. And you're sitting there with those drumsticks. So tell me what your talent is, okay?
Well, yeah, my main thing is playing the drums. But yeah, pretty much between me and Ryan, we do all the tracking for everything. We track the vocals, the guitars, the bass, the drums, you know, so every song you hear, it's only the two of us.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your songs are multi-dimensional. And I listen to your songs and I'm like, okay, you have some songs that just they're kind of boring when you think of the creativity aspect of it. So this is an album, right? This latest project is an album. Could you tell people about that? And then the creative process behind making the songs.
Yeah. So Jordan, why don't you tell them about the album and then I'll talk about the songs.
All right. I mean, yeah, the album, it's our first release, our first album as Foolshine. It's called Rise. It's a 5-song EP. And it's basically, I mean, the idea behind the album is just becoming the person you want to be and kind of becoming the best version of yourself. So that's kind of the theme of the album. That's what all the songs are kind of centered around. And yeah, I mean, it's really, in a lot of ways, it's a culmination of the past 15 years of all the work we've done with music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of all led up to this album.
Okay, and Ryan?
Yeah, and the songs are kind of boring, so I write all the lyrics and
Boring?
we kind of tag team. What's that?
Did you say boring?
No.
Oh.
I said, the songs are, I don't even know what I said, to be honest, but I'll start over. The the songwriting, I write most of the words, well, all the words, and we kind of tag team the music. Usually it's the main idea of the song that comes from me. And it's all born through my own experience. So like all these songs, like Rise is about rising into your full potential. There's another song called Follow Along. Like nobody else is going to do it for you. You got to take it and do it by yourself. Like it's got to be you to make the choice to want to live something different. Another song, Bones, was just about how I was feeling so empty. I wasn't really feeling anything at all, kind of feeling like lost. And I wanted to feel life again. I wanted to feel that rush inside of me. And so I asked life for it, and it just started giving me these songs that flew, just flowed right out of me. And so a lot of the songs that we write, they kind of flow, the main idea kind of flows out of me in like 10 minutes. Like I'll hear something in my head, I'll play it on the guitar, I'll find the chords that I hear in my head, and then the lyrics will just flow out on the page. And it all kind of just happens through the different practices that I have in my own life of like meditation, centering myself. And when I get into that place, the lyrics just flow, and it all comes from, my own personal experience. So it's real, it's raw, it's about me and my life. And I know a lot of other people there too. That's where all the inspiration comes from.
I like Bones is one of my favorite songs off the album, believe it or not. And that's one of the ones that is super creative. When I said, you could tell you did a lot with those songs in general, but that one specifically, it goes hard. So how long did it take to create the EP?
The EP we recorded in 3 days. Out in Michigan.
Wow.
Went to the studio in Michigan, and we did 5 songs in 3 days.
Y'all are talented. Like, it's crazy. Just listening to your lyrics, and if you're the only two, God dog, when did you sleep in those 3 days? Like, what was balance like for you creating this album? Did you go back to your regular job? Like, what did you do?
More or less, yeah. I mean, we basically went out there. It was a 14-hour drive each way. We left after work on Friday, drove out there. I think we both took off that Monday, Tuesday, came back on Tuesday. We both went back to work on Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
And we're planning a similar trip coming up again. It's just kind of one of those things that, we do need money to live our lives and to fund this music thing. And so we need our jobs at the moment, but we're just putting it all in. And so it's kind of those times where like you got to just suck it up. You call on all your grit, all your stamina, the passion that's fueling this whole thing, and it gets you through those 3 kind of grueling days. And you sleep when you can. When he's tracking all his drums, I'll go out to the car and take a nap or something. But it's try to take care of your body as well as you can. It's just when it's time, we go back to our jobs and we wait for the music to be produced, and that's just kind of how it goes when you're working full time and trying to do this.
Y'all inspire me because your sound and the fact that you're a 2-man show is ridiculous. So you mix and master, you create the music, mix and master everything, and you're the writers and the singers. Like, I'm just...
We don't mix and master, we write everything, we track everything, it's all us, but then we work with a couple producers that actually mix and then they'll master for us. So we don't do that part of it. But as far as all the performance, that's all us.
It's still a lot. Like, you are extremely profoundly talented, and you don't see that out of many bands. Are you independent?
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
So this is important. This project is important. What success have you seen with the project?
Basically, we just kind of launched everything. We spent the whole last year setting up the legal side of it, setting up the business, getting copyrights, trademark applications, working with our lawyer to kind of get all the back end stuff as far as like receiving royalty monies and stuff like that. So that's what most of our attention has been on. We're actually going to the studio in a couple weeks to record another 16 songs acoustic, and then we're going to start pumping out videos and building our social media content and all that stuff, and really just kind of hit the ground with it now. This first album was basically the launch of it, and now it's time to promote it all and start to play shows. You know, obviously it's been tough with COVID. A lot of venues actually shut down for good. A lot of venues just temporarily stopped booking shows, so we haven't really been able to do much. Now that things are starting to kind of open back up and we're done with all the legal stuff, we're going to hit the ground running with trying to play as many shows as possible and promoting this album and the project as a whole.
With the genre, I know like one of the main things that you wanted to prove or show is that this type of music still exists, it's still good. So with that, you know, where do you look to see your album? Like, I feel like you should be submitting this to the Grammy. That's
I mean, that's the goal. Yeah, we're trying. I mean, it's funny you say that. You know, we want to show this style still exists, this kind of music still exists. Mm-hmm. That was one of the foundations when we made this project. It was to try to get this type of music, I guess, back out there, but like to give people more of this kind of music, because you don't see a lot of it nowadays. Like we're trying to be like a source of that music, but we'd love to get it on radio stations and stuff like that, and TV shows and in movies, and that's part of, you know, all of our list of things to do with this.
When I heard Bones, I was like, this should be for Grammy consideration, and they need to submit this, and I'm gonna be talking about it and try to pump them up to do it.
Thank you. If you know how to do that, that would be great to know. I have no idea how to even submit something to the Grammys.
Listen, you gotta. They have a website to submit submit the whole album if you can, but each single for Grammy consideration for next year, of course. No, I think you have enough time for this year. And at the same time, this is one of your album, the different songs, because I went in and listened to every single one of them. And I'm like, these are songs that you hear on movie scores. This is like the stuff you hear on Twilight. And I'm just like, I still can't believe it's just you two playing all them instruments and singing. That's crazy to me. So with the visuals, who helped you out with that? Because it's like 3 people, like it's somebody extra in there. So who helped you out with the visuals?
Yeah, that was just a guy that was a friend or I think the brother-in-law of the camera guy. We were like, do you know anybody who could just stand in and like, you know, play some bass so it's not like just me and him up there and it looks kind of more full? And we just like threw him $100 and he just, you know, bought him pizza and he was cool with it. He got his little 15 seconds of fame, you know?
Dude, if y'all get picked up, I want you to say that blogger who had all those issues with her laptop was the one who told us. Don't forget about me, okay?
For sure.
So, like, the thing that I've been wondering about is how did you sustain during the pandemic? Like, you started this in 2020, so how did you do it during the whole with the shutdown?
Yeah,
well,
we basically
kind of worked out. Sorry to cut you off, Ron. You want to answer?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was basically, we just saw the opportunity to work on all the back end stuff, you know, and we were just like, hey, we can't really play live anyway. This is the time to take care of all the legal stuff, all the boring crap, get it out of the way, and, you know, hit the studio, get these songs recorded, start making videos, and be able to kind of just go out with everything all at once. And that's kind of the point that we're at now, is we're really starting to hit the videos hard, and then hit the shows hard and kind of just explode out into the world, you know?
Okay. And then you're getting ready to start touring. What's the first place you're going to?
I would say most likely Boston would be the first place. Yeah, we're gonna hit Boston hopefully. We definitely want to hit Nashville for sure. We're thinking probably a down south tour in the wintertime, hopefully, if things work out. Maybe Nashville, maybe Texas would be fun. And I think all down there would be awesome, but I would say most likely Boston in that area would be first.
Okay, I can dig it. So then so is it just this one album, or do you have more music coming out behind this album, or this is the main focus because this is the baby?
This is the main album we're going to be promoting. All the other songs we're recording coming up, we're going to record them as acoustic and use them for social media purposes. But there will be another album coming out probably beginning of next year. So we're basically going to promote the Rise album this whole year. We're going to get our social media content up and running and consistent content for everybody that wants to see it. And then next year will be another album to promote. We're basically going to try to put out an album a year.
Okay, I love that. What is one of your favorite, or during the creation of this album, the most inspiring moment that you had?
Jordan, you want to share yours and then I'll share mine?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's always been the same for me. At least my favorite thing about recording albums, it's always the process in the studio. You know, playing in the studio for me has always been my favorite part. I just love it. I'm a studio rat all day long. So that's my main thing.
That's your turn up spot. Okay.
It's kind of similar for me, honestly. I mean, I remember when we were recording the song Rise, and I had written like a lead guitar part for when the bridge comes in, and it wasn't like quite clear to me like what it was going to be, and we were in the studio and I just like hit this bend, this note, and it was just perfect, and I was like, oh my god. And it was like in that moment the whole album came together. I was like, this just came out perfectly, and it just filled out exactly the way I wanted it to. And I feel like it's those moments that like you're not even expecting that just sends you this rush into your body. And that's what I felt when we recorded Rise. That was definitely the most powerful moment for me.
That's a beautiful song. I mean, all of them, they're all beautiful. They just have certain differences that make it, they're all inspiring, but it's just something different and unique about each of the songs. So like, even as a writer, I try not to say the same things. Like, it's easy to say the same things because it's stuck in your head. So how did you train yourself to think outside the box, to say, hey, we got to go harder with every single piece?
I don't know if I do try to go harder. I think I create a space that allows it to flow out naturally the way that it wants to. Mm-hmm. So every song that I write kind of just comes to me. I don't, and if I feel like I'm forcing a song, I just stop and I abandon it. And I trust that if I'm meant to keep writing that song, it'll come back later when it's supposed to come back. There's been a couple songs that I've really tried to force, and I'm just like, actually, I think I just want to ditch that one. So it's more about me creating the space to allow it to flow through me. And I do believe some of the lyrics and stuff aren't even necessarily me writing it. It's just something coming in.
Okay. And Jordan, as someone who's multi-instrumental or instrumentalist, like, how to put the music with the song, how were you able to do that? Put the music with the lyrics?
Well, as far as the drums go, the way we've always written together, the drums, typically when Ryan writes the core of a song on the guitar, the drums follow that. So the drums will follow the guitar, they'll link up with the guitar. And then, it's easy for me being, playing the bass and stuff like that too. If I'm writing the drums, I write the bass, it all syncs up. It all gets locked in pretty easily. So it just tends to flow out. It's just a pretty easy process for us.
And there's like little adjustments that happen too. Like he'll have an idea for the drums, and I'll say, oh, all right, let's change the guitar a little bit there to match the drums or whatever. It's kind of this whole, the core of the song comes out really easy, flows, and then we tweak it all along the way, and it ends up in the studio being what it is.
Beautiful. All right. So with you bringing this type of music back, what do you think about the music scene now? Like, obviously you're like, listen, I ain't feeling this, we could do so much better than this. So what are your thoughts on that?
Jordan, go ahead.
Yes, Jordan.
Oh man, I wasn't prepared to answer this one.
I can answer.
I mean, yeah, you answer. Maybe I'll give you a little something at the end.
All right. So I feel like music nowadays is just very, very superficial. It's all about you know, getting things or, you know, doing fun stuff and partying and all that stuff. And like, there's a place for that everywhere, you know, like it's always great to just kick your feet up and have a good time.
Right.
But I feel like music these days is really lacking that depth. And that's why I try to connect to the lyrics so much, because it's real. Every single song that we put out is about something that I've experienced in my life that I know other people are experiencing, and I know they can connect to on a deeper level than just, hey, let's toss a couple drinks back together, you know? That's what it is for me. The core of why I'm doing this is because I don't think that there's enough depth in today's music, and I think that our culture as a whole is missing that depth and is very superficial. And if we can help bring that depth back to society, and I think it can be, you know, not just better music, but also help create a better world through different ways of thinking and being.
Okay. Jordan, you agree?
Yeah, something along the same lines too. A lot of music now, especially rock music, okay? I mean, I guess all music, but like current rock music, a lot of it is about, it's about money. Like all these bands, they're doing it for money. Like you hear about bands that sell out and stuff like that, you know, and they play what, you know, what's going to make them the most money. And we're not doing that. Like money is awesome. We love money, but we're doing this because we love doing this, and we're playing music that we love. Like that's what it's all about. It's not about making the most money you possibly can. You know, we're trying to push away from that and just get to awesome music.
So you're passion driven.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now, I know you said that y'all had went on a hiatus. Can you give me one word of advice for up and coming artists that you don't want them to go through what you went through, any of it, but one main thing that you learned from that could help someone else?
Well, it's interesting because when things like that happen, they tend to happen perfectly. Like I think the hiatus we had, the break that we took, it had to happen, you know, and the way things are working out now, it's working out well, you know? So like, I wouldn't say, you know, as far as that, like to avoid something like that, mainly like we kind of figured out, we kind of learned that like, just don't give up. And like, if you're meant to do something, it'll come back.
That's
you
right.
know? You know, if you're into, if you have a passion for something, you kind of get away from it for a while and you think you're gonna get off that path or whatever. If you're meant to do it, it comes back.
That's right. That's right. I'm sorry.
It's gonna keep eating at you. Like it just won't shut up, that little voice in your head. And it's like, you know, I think the biggest advice that I could give somebody is getting curious as to whether you're really, really, truly happy or not doing what you're doing. For me, it was like, man, all right, I'm comfortable. I got my job, you know, I got a nice place, but I'm not feeling that fire for life. I'm not feeling that excitement. I'm feeling dull. And so I think just creating enough space to like pay attention to yourself and connect to what it is you really want. And when me and him both did that, we realized that we wanted to keep playing music. And so then we created the space for that.
Do what makes your heart smile. So you think it was divine intervention because it led you right into success?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So here's my last question, this crazy blogger. Where can our viewers follow you, download your music, or even like, do you have merchandise? Where can they cop whatever you have going on?
Well, we don't have merchandise yet. That's something else we have coming soon. We have a website, www.foolshine.com. All of our links are on there. We have Instagram /Foolshine Music, Facebook, Foolshine. We're on there. We're on Spotify, Apple Music,
SoundCloud,
all that good stuff. SoundCloud, yep, everywhere. All the major platforms.
Okay, y'all hit them up, run them numbers up, listen to their music. It's bomb. I love it, and I don't love everything. But, you know, like I said, they put me in the mind of One Republic, but the messaging is definitely different. but it's not amateur work is what I'm saying. This is definitely hardcore stuff. So follow them, okay? Whoop whoop. So thank you so much for your time.
I've been shamed and I've been broken. I played every goddamn game, feeling tired of the same old, same old. I've been chained and I've been set free, broken skin and bruised knees. Where's the next place you will lead me? I hope it's better weather. I hope it's better weather.